You are tuned in to What a Baltimore Online Radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed are of the host and not of Lady J Media. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Good afternoon, friends. Hope you're having a beautiful Tuesday. Um, so, we have 30 minutes today, and we're going to talk about some foods. Oh my goodness, I forgot to bring my bag with all my foods I was going to show you. So, we're going to talk about some foods today that will help you to maintain good health, to feel strong, to have good skin, to have good blood, to have good bowel movements, and just for overall um, well-being. So uh, I am so bummed because I had my little bag and I came into the room to get started and I left my bag outside. I am so sorry. I was going to show you, some things that I have in my pantry that I use for just for overall health. But we're going to talk about them, and maybe you can go out and find some of these things yourself. Some of these foods, well, I would say all of these foods are great ways to kickstart some new habits, just to think about how you can start incorporating healthy choices, and not just healthy choices, but choices that will help you to feel great. Now, these foods are foods that have been used around the world for eons, I would say. Okay, so one of the things that I do in the morning, and not every morning, but most mornings, as long as I have it, is I wake up in the morning and I do a glass of warm lemon water. Occasionally, I put a pinch of cayenne pepper in it, and I do this because this is like it helps to kickstart your metabolism. That little cayenne pepper gives it a little kick. I don't need coffee. I don't drink coffee, but the warm lemon water helps you to flush your organs first thing in the morning. Takes you to the bathroom, and really gives you that boost. Gives your metabolism that boost. That warm lemon water first thing in the morning. So that's one of the first habits that I want you to try to start creating for yourself. It's something that you can do every day. Some people may say that I have acid reflux or something like that, and the doctor said don't do anything acidic. But you might have heard me say before that citric things like lemon and grapefruit is kind of like turning water into wine, where outside of the body it is something that is acidic, but inside of the body it is very alkalining and very healing. So a lot of people may use um, lemon juice or warm lemon water, grapefruit, things like that. It actually helps to balance um, your acid reflux. Trust me, I have done it before. I have suffered with acid reflux over time, and it is alkalining. And it does help to burn the fat because that little pinch of cayenne pepper helps to uh, get your metabolism revved up, and it increases the energy. It helps with circulation. You guys might know that cayenne pepper helps with circulation. So, because of bio individuality, and by that I mean, everybody's different. Everybody may eat something, and it may affect different people differently. So, but these foods that I'm about to mention, these foods for better health that I'm about to mention, is foods that have been used, like I mentioned, for a very long time across the world in different parts. So, the first one I'm going to talk about is teff, and teff is a very small grain. It's kind of like the poppy seed, that kind of size. It's kind of like poppy seed, and the teff has a plethora of health benefits. The Incas used to eat teff, and they called it the grain of the gods. It's like I mentioned, it's kind of like it's very small, and they make cereal with it a lot. So I know we eat grits and things like that. Teff would be something that you would make for, like a breakfast thing, kind of like grits, except um, it is, I would say, many times more nutritious. It comes in a variation of colors. You might get like brown, red, some of the common colors. The one I have that I was going to show you, and I apologize again, it's like a brownish reddish color, and it's been used ancient times, Eritrea, Ethiopia, in Mexico. Like I mentioned, the ancient Inca people, they ate, and still today, in doing my research, still today, uh, teff is a staple in some cultures because it's so high in nutrition. Um, so some of the things that teff help with is it helps with growth. So when I say growth, they give it to like cereal. Uh, they give it like cereal to the young kids, and they eat it on a regular basis. It is also good for people who have, gluten intolerance, like celiac disease, which is becoming more and more common. A lot of people are having celiac disease. So teff doesn't have any gluten in it, so therefore it's good for people who have these type of digestive issues. Or I mean, celiac is not just digestive, but it sometimes it's a very severe reaction if you have gluten. So this is one of the things that you can consume. It also teff also helps to strengthen the bones. Um, I have I have some of it in my cabinet. I don't make it that often, but definitely, the more research that I've done, I have decided that I am going to try to make this teff for cereal. I eat a lot of oats, so instead of doing oats, this is another grain that you can use. Except it is so much more healthy to get teff. You can get it at the health food store, and sometimes it's kind of hard to get because I know my mom, she used it to make bread and things like that because it's so good. It also helps with immune function. Teff. It also works for circulation. So those of you who have issues, circulation issues, those of you who have, um, you know, issues with, like, sometimes I feel my bones stiffening up, things like that. That's one of the grains that you can add to your breakfast lineup. What about quinoa? Quinoa is like a popular food these days, and a lot of people are. There's multicolored quinoa. You get quinoa. Um, oh, hi, Mr. Singh. Hello, thanks for joining. Um, yeah, so quinoa is another really popular food that people are buying now. And there's some people that don't like it. Um, it's a small grain, and I think people have issues with these small grains. It just doesn't give you enough bulk. But again, you can use it to make cereal. It is considered a superfood. Quinoa. It's spelled Quiona, and it's pronounced quinoa. Yes. So that's the one I'm talking about. Again, it's something that the Inca Empire was big on. In addition to the teff, they use quinoa. As a matter of fact, they have some cereals where they have quinoa and teff together, and it's a powerful superfood. And they refer to this one as the mother of all grains. Imagine that, quinoa. And it's now becoming popular in America, right? Just, maybe the last 10, 15 years becoming popular in America. But it's something that you can add to your regimen of foods that, yes, never heard of teff before. Teff is actually spelled Teff. Someone is commenting they never heard of teff before. It's spelled Teff, and you can find it in health food store. I actually locked out the other day. I went to the health food store, and I asked them for it, and most of the reps on the floor didn't know what I was talking about, but the manager did, and I got a couple of bags for pretty cheap at the Sprouts health food store here in Maryland. So it's something that you can definitely boil it, add it to add it to your smoothies, add it to your cereals, your morning your morning brew, it gives you a lot of nutrients. So I was talking about I was talking about quinoa. Yes. So quinoa is very high in fiber, higher than most grains. So if you're having issues with like constipation, you know, irregularity, I would say, um, definitely quinoa is something that you might want to add to your meals. It is gluten free. It's another one that is gluten free, and for those people, like I mentioned before, who have gluten intolerance, it is a good grain to add. You know, rice, quinoa. Sometimes I make it different ways. You know, you can be creative. I sometimes would cut up vegetables and I would make stir fry quinoa with the vegetables instead of using rice. So you know you're able to get your high fiber. Um, so quinoa is also high protein and amino acid grain. So you know you get your proteins, you get your fiber, you get your amino acids. So it's definitely something to consider. It's very popular. You can find it literally in every grocery store. I went to the grocery store today, and they had quinoa in more than one aisle. So no excuses there. You can find it. It is also good for people who have high blood pressure because it's very low on the glycemic index. Um, Quinoa. So that's something to keep in mind as well. It is also high in minerals like iron and magnesium. So that, I mean, just, you know, just an amazing grain. Yes, I think you should try it. Someone's commenting. I think you should try it. Go to Sprouts, Mom's. You'd find it probably in the packs. They used to sell it in like the bulk in the grocery store, and not the whole grocery store, the health food store. They used to sell it in the bulk section, but I think you know it sometimes is hard to get. So you can definitely try to go find it at the health food store. So the next thing I want to talk about is, and this is a big one that a lot of people miss. It's sprouting. I actually just picked up some sprouts today that I wanted to show you. I'm so mad. I wanted to show you. I picked up some broccoli sprouts, and broccoli sprouts is, of course, this the broccoli seed that is sprouted. So, sprouted grains, just like legumes. We're going to talk about legumes, but I also sprout legumes. I've sprouted mung beans. I have sprouted chickpeas. Um, Never tried like like red beans or anything like that, but mung beans is amazingly easy to sprout, and this is a superfood. So we're talking about superfoods today. So I wanted to talk about you know the amazing benefits of sprouts. I know my mother, who works with a lot of sick people, she is big on sprouts because it is so nutritionally dense, and it gives your blood, because it's not cooked, so you get those live enzymes. You can add it to smoothies, which is what I do. Sometimes I would do like fresh pineapple, alfalfa sprouts, or any sprout that I have at the time. I'll put it in the smoothie, make it really simple. The sprouts and the pineapple, and I just blend that up, and it's a really delicious smoothie, and you're able to get enzymes from the pineapple and live green enzymes from your sprouts. So you know wild beans can be sprouted. There's alfalfa sprouts, also there's broccoli sprouts. Literally, there's a lot now that is popping up in the grocery store. The Asian people will have the mung bean sprouts, they'll have the soybean sprouts. You'll see in the and they use it in stir fries, and that's another way to add it to your meals as well. You can add it to your meals by putting it in your food when you're making your stir fried rice. Or some people may not use oil to fry things, but you can still put it in your wok and do your thing with those sprouts, your mung bean sprouts and your soybean sprouts. It helps to improve your liver health because of its high concentration of lecithin. Sprouts can help with keep your liver healthy as well. It is low in fat, so it does help to lower your cholesterol if you consume it regularly. Of course, everything that you need for health, you need to not just use it once or twice and then, you throw it away. You need to be consistent. You need to use it regularly, um, especially if you're trying to lower cholesterol. That can take a little bit of time to do. So you want to buy your sprouts, make it part of your regular grocery list, put it on the list, and just buy your sprouts every time you go to the grocery. You replenish. Uh, it helps to reduce stress. Imagine that. So you can get a break from their stressful life when you sip on, which is what I do sometimes, sip on my glass of sprouts and pineapple. Because it's high in vitamin C, if you consume it regularly, again, it does help to reduce stress. It also reverses aging. How about that? So you can, besides the stress, which helps to age us, you can start um, consuming, these things that helps to reverse aging as well. Again, consume it regularly. So if you consume sprouts regularly, it does amazing things for you. We don't have to spend a lot of money. Sprouts are pretty cheap, or you can try it yourself. As a matter of fact, at the health food store, I was able to buy these covers, and the covers, it came in three. I think it was like $5, three different sizes, and I had a mason jar because it fits on any mason jar. Well, most of the mason jars, I should say, fits in a regular size mason jar, and I was able to put it on the mason jar, and you can find really easy information online about how to sprout. And sprouting only takes a few days if you decide that you want to try sprouting, because it's so chock full of dense nutrition. You can try to sprout some things. You can even sprout the lentils. If you have lentils in your pantry, you can sprout some lentils, um, or chickpeas, which I've done before. It's pretty easy. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is flax seeds or linseed. Like some places they call it linseed. Where I'm from, Trinidad, that's what we called it. We called it linseed, but it's also flaxseed, which you guys know flaxseed is um, so good for you, and people do all kinds of things with it. They even make natural gel for the hair from flax seeds. But flax seeds, they come in a goldish color, which I buy. It comes in a brown color, which I buy. They're not much difference. There isn't much difference in between the nutritional value of the one that is brown or the one that is goldish color. It's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same price, but it is definitely um, it's been around for a long time. They've used it therapeutically for a very long time, and so flaxseed has a unique combination of healthy omega-3 fatty acids, which is so important for our bodies. um, a lot of times they would use fish oil. So instead of using fish oil, I use flax oil, or I use just the flax seed, because you get the oils from the flax seed. As a matter of fact, I read in a book that you shouldn't buy the grounded flaxseed and just keep it in your cabinet, because the oils evaporate, which is what you need. You need that good fatty acids, right? So the best thing to do is buy the seeds, and just before you use it, you blend it or grind it. So I've used it in breads. I've used it. I use it in dumplings, guys. I make dumplings, and I put flaxseed in my dumpling, and I put oats in my dumpling, and it's super good. And it's not just flour; you get some nutrition from it. So definitely, it's something to try. When I'm making my smoothies, I put about a quarter cup of flax seeds in my smoothie, so I get my omega-3 fatty acids from there as well. So it's you got some options. It also is full of fiber, plant compounds, that is, it energizes and helps to flush a colon as well. It's a powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. And I'm having a little bit of inflammatory issues in my fingers lately. That I'm kind of getting worried about. So I'm gonna be doubling up on my flax oils, my omega-3 fatty acids, to keep these joints keep them fluid. It also helps to prevent constipation because you get that bulk. A lot of the like Metamucil type mixtures will have flax seeds in it. Not Metamucil, but things like that you might find in a health food store would have flax seeds in it because it gives your colon that roughage that it needs, because it has that really good source of dietary fiber. So that does contribute to digestive health. It does lower cholesterol. Flax seeds lower cholesterol for a few reasons, right? Um, One main reason being it's soluble fiber, and that has been proven through science to lower your LDL, which is the bad cholesterol. So definitely, it's something to consider on a regular basis. Adding flax seeds or linseed to your smoothies or your cereal. If you're a person that makes dumplings, from the Caribbean or anywhere else, you make dumplings. You like dumplings, like I know my husband loves dumplings, so I put it in the dumplings to help get that sort of like roughage into flour. So it's something to consider, something to do. And there's so much I didn't realize here. Lowers blood pressure. Linseed, flaxseed lowers blood pressure. How? The fatty acids again. The lignans is called lignans. That's in the that is part of the makeup, the chemical makeup of flax seeds. Helps to lower your blood pressure, and the fiber will work together to prevent and to treat hypertension and chronic high blood pressure. Again, you have to use it, and you have to use it regularly for it to receive the benefits from it. And last but not least, it helps to lower and balance your blood sugar levels as well. There was a study in 2011 that proved that flax seeds does help to regulate and lower your blood sugar levels in the type 2 diabetics. So make it a regular um, you know addition to your meals, your smoothies, whatever. um, Flaxseed, and some people prefer to buy the oil or the capsules, but you get the benefit from the roughage when you actually take the seeds and blend the seeds and put it in your food. Beans and legumes. Now, a lot of people, eat a lot of beans, or some people just, lentils. They'll kind of stick with lentils. Um, but beans, especially for the people who are looking to either kind of wean off of the meat proteins, and you're looking for a more natural way to get your protein. Like, I eat a lot of beans because of the protein, and my body needs this protein, right? um, I think I might have a comment. Do I have a comment? Ha. Somebody asked me, what kind of dumplings are we talking about? We're talking like real dumplings, but with the flour. Except I just don't do flour. I put flour. I put my flax seeds. I grind the flax seeds up. Not a lot, just enough to you'll see it in it. And then I would probably add my favorite, which is oats. I add like quick oats to my dumplings as well. Uh, yeah, so we're talking about like legumes and beans, right? And I don't know, but you may already know that legumes and beans are very high in fiber, and that's one of the reasons why I tend to use a lot of beans. It is full of vitamin B. Um, it has minerals in it, including zinc and iron and magnesium. Good, good, good stuff. And so for me, who's a vegetarian, it's a good meal. It's a good replacement instead of eating chicken and whatever. Um, you get your protein. As a matter of fact, you get um, you get better protein from eating beans and legumes. Because we came from the ground, people. So the protein that comes from the ground is the one that's better for you, right? Yeah, some will argue with me, but I'm sticking with that. Yeah, and it also helps. Of course, it helps with to regulate your plumbing, your bowels, and get it working right. It's, as I mentioned, it's high in fiber, vitamin B, things like that. Good replacement for meat. So, um, chickpeas, lentils, kidney beans, black beans, soybeans, pinto beans, navy beans, black eyed peas. I actually just went shopping for my bean stash this week. Bought my black eyed peas and my split peas, which I make my awesome corn soup, I should say. Um, so I made. I usually what I would do is in the crock pot I would put about maybe a pound and a half in the crock pot, and I'll make a whole bunch of different kinds of beans. I'll put it in the freezer so when I'm ready, I can just like take it out, tore it off, and do what I need to do with it. And I do all kinds of things. And you can like black beans. Black beans are being made into really tasty patties. Black bean patty is like the whole rage. Like everybody's making and selling black bean patty. You can make your own black bean patty. The recipes are all over the online. You can search it out. You can make your black bean patty. Um, Navy beans, I don't really do navy beans so much. Lentils, I make lentils all the time. You can do all kinds of awesome things with lentils. You can make lentil loaf. Try it. Really, try it. It's really good. It's really good for you, and it tastes good. You can make it taste, kind of like meaty. You um, Lentils and chickpeas. Of course, we know chickpeas. A lot of people love chickpeas, and you can curry it, and you can stew it, and you can make the chickpea patties, and you can do a ton of different things with these awesome legumes and beans. Of course, some people they talk about the gassiness of it. And one way to make this superfood, and today we're talking about all superfoods, right? So one way to get rid of the gassiness in beans and legumes is to you can do one or two things, right? If you have a crock pot and it's cooking for like 6 hours, 8 hours, typically 6 or more hours, it'll stay in a crock pot. That gassiness will evaporate because it's slow cooking and it takes a long time. Over time, the gas will evaporate. If you're trying to make like lentils and you put it in your pressure cooker or something like that, the suggestion is that you soak it first, or throw hot water on it, and you see the gas that bubbles to the top of the beans. You throw that off, and then you cook your beans. That some of the gases, when it bubbles to the top, you can discard it, and then you can try to cook your beans and make whatever awesome dish that you're gonna try. So this is these are some of the foods that and there's a ton more superfoods, but these are some of the ones that are not so popular that I wanted to share with you. Again, the teff, the quinoa, the flax seeds, the beans, the legumes, the sprouts, all these awesome superfoods that can help us to live longer, healthier lives. Included in different dishes that you make. Just to give your body that extra boost. That is, you can't go wrong, right? You really cannot go wrong in trying to give your body the best possible food. You spend money on all kinds of things, right? You spend money um, putting all these fancy stuff on the outside. So even if it costs a little bit of money, it's okay. It's okay because you're doing it for you and you're doing it because your body needs to get all this goodness. So I encourage you. I think our time is running out. I encourage you to try adding some of these things to your menu. Treat you. Give you the best possible foods, because you're gonna pay more to the doctor anyway. So pay for the food. Okay. So I am going to leave it there for this week. I encourage you to start making a list of the things that you want to try. Start making a list of all these good foods that you want to try, and be diligent about it and be intentional. And when you go to the health food store, seek out a health food store where you go and you buy the stuff and you look for a recipe and you try to make it tasty. That's what I try to do. I try to make these superfoods into different types of things and try to make it as tasty as possible so that I could continue to want to eat it. So I encourage you to do the same thing. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of the week. And we will talk next week. I haven't decided yet the topic, but I think we're going to talk about exercise and depression. I'm going to try to get a guest here so we can talk about that. A lot of people are experiencing depression, especially in this like COVID time. So I want to say thank you so much, and God bless you. And we will talk next week. God bless you.